Hi there, Dario Ponisi here. So, are you ready for another lesson? Then do come in and let's play. Let's go on another joint adventure. At the start of our journey from zero to hero, we spoke of, among other things, tuning, chords, and the differences between classical and folk or flat-top guitar. Today, we'll delve further into chords and we'll begin talking about strumming. Yes, strumming. But before doing that, let me show you a few more things about strings, picks, and fingers. Of course, with a little help from my friends. As you probably remember, classical guitars use nylon strings. There are several particularities about nylon strings. But for now, we talk only of their tension.
Okay, so they need to relax.
Sometimes. But right now, I'm talking about what kind of string tension you need on your guitar, if low, medium, or high.
How do you choose the right one?
It depends. Low tension strings are softer to the touch and in sound. Perfect for rapid action. A bit early now, better use them in the future.
What about the high tension strings?
Brighter sound, but harder to the touch. Also, they could be harmful to the neck of your guitar in the long run. So we'll think about it another time. For the time being, we'll go with the mediums. It's a good mix of mellow and powerful, which is perfect for studying.
What about strings for the folk guitar?
You can tell their tension by checking the gauge of the first string.
So I guess the mediums will be those in the middle.
In a sense, point 12 is actually light and point 13 is the real medium.
And we choose
I'd go with point 12 for now. Okay, so here we are. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the usage of picks. So a pick is basically this thing. You can see it's a little triangle. It can be of a different shape, it doesn't matter. There are many different picks. There are metal picks, plastic picks like this. There are leather picks. I've seen all kind of picks in my life. Basically, the thing that you have to choose is the thickness of the pick. For instance, this is a medium thickness. I find this very comfortable actually because I can do either accompanying or solo. I find it very comfortable. So if you use a thin pick, it's basically softer. So it's better for strumming, for instance, which we will talk about in a few moments. If you use a hard pick, a very hard pick, for instance, people who play bass with a pick, there are people who play bass with a pick, prefer a hard pick because, of course, it's got more power. You can use also a hard pick on the guitar to have a harder sound. Usually it's for solo parts. It's not really for accompanying. It's not for strumming. But you have to see what kind of sound you're looking for. Anyway, you can basically try to buy the three sizes and see the one that goes better for you. And that's about picks. Another thing that I forgot to tell you the first time that we met is that, of course, you probably know already, but your left hand, if you're right-handed, your left hand fingernails have to be short. Otherwise, you will have problems in pressing the strings on the frets. So I keep them quite short, as you can see. So this is a little sacrifice for people who want to have maybe longer nails, like ladies out there, for instance. But basically you have to think about this. So if you want to play guitar, your left hand fingernails have to be shorter. Of course, if you're left-handed, you have to keep your right hand fingernails short. Well, okay. So having cleared this out, we can actually start talking about strumming. Strumming is basically this kind of movement. You can also do it with a free hand. This is strumming. This is all strumming. If you use a pick, this is strumming. What we play today, what we study today, is the downstroke. The downstroke, of course, the word already tells it, is when you actually move the pick from the top to below, from up to down. This is the downstroke. Very easy, very simple. So we're gonna try now using the only chord that we studied until now, so the A chord. We're gonna try to do 4 successive downstrokes. You can play all the strings because in the chord of A, all the sounds that you produce are actually pertinent. So we do 4 times and then we stop. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, how was it? Okay, let's try it again. This time I only give you 3, 4 to start. 3, 4. Okay, let's try a different speed, a bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, or slower, of course. You can try this. Any kind of song actually has a particular strumming. And we will study them all, or a good part of them, as long as we go. And that's it for strumming. Now, hope everything was clear. So get ready for your second step on your road from 0 to hero. And now, let's study our second chord in detail.
Here comes the D chord. Starting from the bottom, place your forefinger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then your middle finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret.
Press your thumb well on the back of the neck. Keep each finger on its proper string. Be careful not to touch other strings.
Now, try strumming with your right hand.
try to avoid strumming the 6th string, as its sound doesn't belong to this chord.
To confirm, check each string individually
And in succession. That's it. Have fun!
Have fun!
Okay, so let's check live what you actually saw in the animation. So we're gonna build the chord of D. As you already saw in the animation, what you have to do is to place your index finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, like this, okay? And then place your middle finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, like this. And your ring finger, you'll put it on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And this is the chord of D. As I already said during the animation, you had to play only 5 strings. Don't play the 6th string, because if you can, of course, because the 6th string is an E, and E doesn't belong to the chord of D. The chord of D basically doesn't have that note. So you have to try to be careful and only strike the first 5 strings this way. If you put the E in it, it becomes like this. It doesn't really belong. But anyway, if it happens, it happens. It's not really a big problem. But if you can, try to concentrate on keeping only the 5 strings in action. So, just to check it out, to confirm what we have, let's try to do 8 times with the downstroke, the chord of D. Are you with me? Okay, let's go. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, you should get this kind of sound. Of course, you have to press well with your fingers and try not to touch other strings while you do this chord. And that's it. Okay, so now you're ready to play with us. But please, remember what I told you last time. In other words, not to grip too tightly the neck of your guitar. You have to be able to move your hands. So always leave a little bit of space between the neck and your palm. Like this, for instance.
You mean like this, right?
Yes, yes. Oh, that's perfect. That's very perfect, yes. You notice that Romana has a guitar. Yes, she also began to study. So, welcome to our classroom,
Thank you.
And we want to play a song for you, which contains the D chord, the chord that we studied together today. But before doing that, please remember to subscribe to our channel. You will find the button around here, somewhere. And also to follow us on socials, Instagram and Facebook. You will find many things there.
Yes.
Yes, many interesting things. We think they are interesting. For instance, videos and
Poems.
Yes. Cats. Yes. You'll find Achille and his adventures, his many adventures. Of course, their cat adventures. And in other words, just follow us. Follow us wherever we go. We could go together somewhere in I don't know, towards different horizons. Let's play. Okay. So, today
we chose a very famous song.
Okay.
Yes, this time is Imagine by John Lennon.
Oh, imagine that. Okay, so Imagine by John Lennon, which was actually composed around 1970 and published in 1971 or something like that. So it's a very famous song, yes. But before, let me see how we do it. So we use the chords of A and D. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 beats A and 4 beats D. And continue, basically. So we're gonna do the first verse. And because the song is more complex, but anyway, we're gonna do the first verse so we can study it together. what I wanted to tell you, one more thing, is that you can also do the upstroke if you want. You can do downstroke, but you can also do the upstroke, which I will tell you more in the next lesson, how to do the upstroke. Okay? So, let's try this. Okay. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. As you can see, Romana is too busy with the chords, so she's not singing. But anyway, it's okay. Sing with us. We'll see you next time on Joint Adventure.
Yes. Follow